Hello everybody, this is Johnny S with the last part of Black Desert Online. This is part 4, so it's been a four-part series, quite lengthy. I was debating within myself whether I should do a last part or not, but I realized that I did talk a little bit about different mechanics to give an overview, but I have not shown a lot of gameplay. We jumped in a little bit in the game and we saw like what it looks like. But it might be a good idea to showcase a little bit of the gameplay and see a little bit of the variations and some of the aspects that we discussed previously, but actually see them in action. So I'm not going to go through every single one of my characters. The main two that I have and that I have progressed most when it comes to gear and everything is the Berserker and the Musa. So we're going to jump in with the Berserker, and I'm going to, I'm doing some things to discuss. I changed a little bit the color scheme onto him because I had made him all white. So, I wanted to showcase a little bit what he actually looks like. Okay. The reason why I did him white is because, I had a white horse that I was on, and he was white, and he was like just white. Okay, whatever. You can change this at any point of time. This is kind of the default color of this costume, and there's different costumes as well. Like I said, keep in mind that the graphics are relatively low quality. There's a remastered mode as well that you can utilize in the game. We'll give it some time to start. Okay. So if you have a look at the options here, for example, let's go settings, display settings. So this is the resolution that I've got, display quality. I've got it high, and graphics very high, but this is what makes the game great. High-end graphics remastered. So since the game came out, it had all these different settings. So yes, they are high. It plays around 60 FPS, which is good. That goes up and down, depends, as it's what I was saying before about the popping graphics. When you're really moving quickly, you might see the frame drop. But in order to see the proper game, what it's like after 10 years that it's been released and more, you have to click remastered. Remastered is the setting that it's going to make it like the proper updated version of the game, and I don't have that enabled. So I consider this to be, yes, very high, but a 10-year-old graphic design. So that's why I say low. If you click on the remastered, and then there's the ultra, which says this mode is ultra, and it's crazy. This is for endgame systems. So I just wanted to show that. Okay, so we're with our Berserker. Let me get my weapons out, and let's go a little bit where there's a shadow, so he doesn't get oversaturated with the color. Zoom in. You can have a look at him, and if he goes into the sun, for example, you can see there's more shine on his armor. So it's quite realistic, the shadows, as you can see. This is the costume, and you can turn off the costume at any point of time. So if you pay attention, this is without the helmet, without the boots, without the weapons, without the gloves, without the armor. So this is what my normal set looks like. Let me just close this. This is what the normal set looks like. The animation is great. The effects are awesome. And if you want, I kind of made him looking white so you can go with this. And you can have more than one costume that you can wear. Let's equip it. So the swords change colors. This is what I was saying. This is the sword, and these are the knots at the end of the sword. So if I equip this one, you will see the end. If I unequip, this is what the standard axe looks like, and with the costume, the knot at the end, this one here, the gloves, and the armor. And the only thing that I changed on this is I added those little red things. So by default, this costume had blue. This guy has all his equipment, on him. So this is the proper stats: 322 defense, 257, 255. And you're trying to get these two to be similar numbers. Let's zoom out a little bit. And if you go to the market, just to give you an idea of how the gear works, let's say for a main weapon, we want to get an axe, which is for our guy. And you put them by by price. So these are the normal. These are all the different axes, and if you hover over them, you will see different statistics and the different grades. So if we go, for example, the axe that I have on the right hand side is the Zarka axe. So if we go to the Zarka axe, for example, here, you will see that it says 0 to 7. That means the enhancement. So the enchantment on your weapon is how you level it up. You can get a basic one, and then you can go +1, +2, +3, +4. The defense, the attack, as you can see, is much less. So 18 to 22, my one is 114 to 118. It's the same max, just leveled up. And the way that the levels go is you start from 0 to 15. So if you have a look, 0 +8 plus everything, these are the numbers. So there is one selling here. For example, there's none selling. If you click, no one is selling everything. There's one order, so you can pre-order, and then as soon as somebody goes to sell it, you will be the first one to take it. For this one here, for example, this guy is selling it, and it costs 464 million. So if you click on it, this guy is at the top. That's what I said before, that you can put, there's a price range. For example, this guy, because there's no others, he's got for the top price. If there was a guy selling here, I might want to go and put my one here, but I can't go too much low. And the white indication is the average. This shows you what the average is. This is the reds. You're selling it more expensive. These are, and usually at the bottom you might see one guy here that will say order. If you sell it here, it's going to sell straight away to that guy. So there is a way that you can sort of manage your prices and be competitive and stuff, and maybe probably make some money from the market as well. But it doesn't allow you to break the market. And after the +15, which is this one here, you go to specific enhancements, which are pre, duo, tree, tet, and pen. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My axe at the moment is on tet, which means it's the fourth, it's the second last. If you have a look here, there's 3 of them selling. The price is quite crazy when it comes to the numbers. So if you have a look here, these are all millions. So 200, 230, the millions, it goes gradually up, millions, double the price. This is why I say it takes a lot of money. And what am I going to get? I'm going to get 8 additional attack power. You can see it here. If you go here, there is a guy selling it. I can buy it because the money that I have at the moment is around, 11 billion. So from, 12 billion. So from this 12 billion, I can spend 2.5, and I can, get the axe. But I'm not really crazy into going to the full end game, the best in slot and everything. You know what I mean? And above the Zarka, there's also additional, even better axes, which are called the Black Star and the Goder. So if we compare, let's say, a Tet, my Tet, with a Tet here. Okay. So this is a Tet Zarka that I have with a Tet enhancement level Black Star weapon. You get 9 additional attack power, but watch the price. 11.5 billion. That's almost all the money that I got. So these are really expensive and really end game. I just want to show you a little bit just so you can understand, what the level is. So by no means this is no best slot. I got the Lemuria helmet set on pen, so this is the end level of that, but that's not like boss gear and everything. There's some pen accessories, pen accessory. These are not, these are from quests. I've got 2 artifacts, and if you see my gear, they're on Tet level. So they're one level before the extreme and the most expensive ones. If you have a look at the other characters, they're pretty much up and down around that. So this guy, for example, he's got Tet. So they're all Tet level. The next guy, and you can see from the Roman numeral, this Musa, I have gone quite a little bit extreme on him. He's one of my favorites. So he's got a Tet sub weapon, okay. He's got a pen, which is the best boss gives Arca blade, and he's got a Tet Black Star. Now that weapon is like the 11.5 million that we compared before. So for this guy and for this guy alone, I have invested quite a bit. So overall, if you think about it, I've got 12 billion and another 11 billion invested on one of this weapon, on one of these guys. But this guy is one of my favorites, and he is worth it. The rest of them, I try to keep a little bit more simple. So if you see, this guy's got a pen, Tet, pen. This guy, Tet, pen, around there. And these guys, these weapons are the ones that I have transferred from the season. And I'm still, acquiring weapons. I think up to here, these guys, they have weapons. I need to get this guy and this guy. So with this guy, I'm going to transfer to him, and with this guy, I'm going to, since I got a ticket coupon, make another one. Let me just start this so we don't go out of time. So let's move a little bit. The way that I play this character is basically spin to win, in a sense. He's got a lot of, let's say, skills and different things that you can do. For example, this is his basic attack. Back and right mouse button. He does a big slam. He can sidestep. If you hold sidestep, shift, and right mouse button, animation cancels to the last attack of his back and right mouse button. 1, 2, 3. That big one is with the damages. And there's a trick that you can actually go sidestep with shift and right mouse button with back. So it's a little bit confusing, and he does the big slam only. I'll demonstrate that for you. That. And you gotta manage a little bit, move it around. So you gotta slowly, he's got his resource bar, so his basic attacks gets the resource. And there's a couple shortcuts that I'm using, and basically this is a spin to win character, so I'm utilizing his spinning skills in order for me to kill enemies. He's a little bit of a slower guy to grind, but nevertheless. So number 1 is this, and you can move it around. It's just like a whirlwind. He runs out. Then I've got number 2 skill, which is another big spin. And this uses stamina. If you pay attention at the top, there's my stamina, the gray bar. When that runs out, he's gone. And the first skill is already ready for me to use. So as soon as that goes down, I use the first one. So literally this guy can spin forever. Second skill, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stamina's gone up, use it again. So I can pretty much just spin always with this guy. You can interrupt at any point of time. And the other 2 skills that I'm using are 3 and 4. 4 is a situational skill that he jumps backwards, so it's like a defensive attack, and he creates a line, which is a good skill. So let's say there were a couple of enemies here, and they were behind me, they were following me. I will go something like this, and that will create a big line. Another one that I do sometimes is when I go into the enemies, so let's say with our horses, there's a couple of enemies, I will go into and create a big aware. There's many other things on this guy as well, but it gets a little bit too complex. For example, if I press right mouse button, it does that. But if I transform into my beast mode, which is back and middle mouse button, if you see he's transformed, and I press right mouse button, and this skill really does a lot of damage. So his skill changes. If my dash changes, he walks like an animal, and some of his skills, become more hectic. And you can utilize if you turn back. So that happens, with a certain amount of time. And he's got a big ultra as well, which, if I remember correctly, is Shift and Q. And that really destroys everybody. So this is what this character looks like. We'll go to our horses to equip. So at the moment I've got a Pegasus. This is the flying mount that I told you, and this is a dream level horse. It's the kind of the second last tier of the horses. And I've got this horse here, which is like a flaming guy. This is the fastest one. This is good for high grounds. And there's one more horse that I have on my other guy. So if you pay attention on this guy here, he's got a horse called Goldie, and that horse is a dream horse again, level 30 says it. That horse is a dire horse, and those horses are used for the desert, so he does not get any penalties when it comes to the desert. So if you zoom out on the map, you will see that on the right hand side there's a desert. Once you on these areas around the desert, your compass, your overlay map will work properly. Once you go inside the desert here, your compass will disappear. You can get a heat stroke and some negative effects, the sandstorms. It's a dangerous area here, and you basically don't have a compass, so you can't get lost in here. And whatever mount you have, they will start going really, really slow. The only horse that is able to move fast is the dire horse, and it's a dream level. And there's one more last level that you can get your dire horse to become from dream mythical, and the mythical is the horse that can also walk on water. So that horse is targeted, and that's why I've got the guy in the desert. My guy that I've got at the moment is somewhere down here. So I use the horse to kind of go around through the desert, and I'm leveling him up here because it's a good area to level up. So the dire horse purpose is that it's very functional and he can go quick and doesn't get any penalties in the desert and everything. The Pegasus horse that I've got here is one of the quickest horses. It's not called Pegasus; it's called Arbaran, something like that. And the black horse is a damage horse. You can actually use your weapons on a horse if you go, and you can actually go through mobs. It changes your skills a little bit, and you can fight with your horse as well. That's interesting as well. So you can go into the lower area where it's kind of easy for you. You can use your horse to actually go through, and the red-black sort of looking horse, it has some attack skills as well. The reason why my favorite for normal distances is the red is because the horses have many skills that you unlock as you level up. One of the skills which is interesting is a dash. So when you begin, you go by foot. You're very slow. You get one horse, you become a little bit better. You get a horse with a sprint skill, you go a little bit faster. You get a horse with a sprint skill and a dash skill, you're able to go a little bit faster and dash every 5 seconds. Dash a little bit, cover some distance. The flame-looking horse has 3 consecutive dashes that you actually have to unlock. You know what I mean? And there's a whole different process into it as well. So if you go to the horse market, for example, just to show you, these are all the different tiers. You know what I mean? So you can go from tier 6. There used to be tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the game has been upgraded, and in the wild you can only get tier 6. So if you go tier 6, for example, these are all the tier 6s. These are people selling tier 6s, and they are selling them for quite a bit of money. There's males and females. You can, mate these horses, and an offspring will come out. From 2 tier 6s, there's a huge chance that a tier 7 offspring will come out. So then the trainers, this is basically a profession that they're doing. They're getting horses, they're leveling them up. This is level 3, this is level 8. This one's got 2 skills, drift and sprint. This one's got more skills. So as you level them up, they have better chance to have higher tier offspring. And this is a whole huge process, you know what I mean? You get male and females, you mate them, you might get like 3 male offspring. So you gotta keep on doing it, you know what I mean? Get female offspring, then you mate them again. Then you become slowly until you get all the way to the dream level. And on the dream level, if you pay attention, there's huge prices like 10 billion, 12 billion, 9 billion, 12 billion, and I've got 3 of these. So that shows, like, if you think about how much money has this guy made in game, I've got 3 dream level horses, so that, let's say, average 10 billion, 10 billion, 10 billion, 30 billion. I've got a couple of weapons which are really expensive and worth it. Let's say my armor and everything costs another 10 billion, around, I'm saying. And now I'm in the process and I've got another 11, 12 billion on the side for me to utilize for potions and everything like that. So it is quite a bit, and you can go from there. So if we take the horse out, this is the horse. The horse can carry some things. It's got a weight limitation. You also have a weight limitation here. And the horse can also have some gear here, as you can see. This gear will give him additional access to different skills. So let's go on top of our horse, just to show you. This is the normal speed of the horse. And this is another thing that I was telling you, that you get used to, your surroundings. At the moment, usually what I used to do is I want to go to a place called St. Grand Bazaar. So this place here, St. Grand Bazaar. What I will do is I will right click here. It will automatically create a path. You can see it's a huge distance. Now this by foot can easily take you half an hour. You know what I mean? It's long. Now I can do it in 5 minutes. And what you will do is you press T, and the horse will automatically start running. This is slower because he's not using any skills. Beautiful. I wanted to show this as well, just so you can see a little bit of the scenery. Because I'm so used to the map, I can actually use shortcuts. So usually what I will do is I will climb this mountain up here. I'll show you. I will climb that mountain up there, because if you look on the map, what he does is he goes like this. So sometimes I climb the mountain and I go through here, and there's a bridge here, and I will go down this way. So in order for you to even know the shortcuts and how you're going to go through the trees, you have, it's crazy, but it's easy because the game helps you remember this. This is what I was saying. So in order for me to go quickly and demonstrate that, we're going to use his skills. So one of the skills is shift. So if you see straight away, I'm going faster. Okay, I'm not touching anything else. This is just him going. If you see, this is sprint. If I use the dash is one dash, he goes even faster. If you hold the dash down, he can do up to 3 dashes simultaneously, and the last one does fires. In his, this is the only horse that can do it. So 1, 2, 3, and this is why you're using him. If you hold down the dash button, there's a delay. For example, 1, 2, 3. I'm holding it down. 1, 2, 3. I'm holding it down. So there's a delay. You can bypass that by using his drift skill. So if you pay attention, I'm going to do it with one dash. Drift is back left or back right, back left and back right and forward. So it is something to get used to. So basically, what you do is you dash. See what I'm doing? This is a drift. That's what the proper skill looks like. So back and left is this. It's like a turn. But if you do a drift and then press forward and the dash, it cancels it. So the way that you move around this horse is dash, 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 dash. You get what I'm saying? Your animation canceling. So let's go through. We'll go through the mountain, which is how I go through it. And it might look quick, but you know, I know where the place is. Every single one of these rocks I know inside out, and this is without me trying. I have come up here on the mountain in order to hunt animals. I tried the hunting sort of thing. So, at the bridge should be somewhere here. There's another city called Heidel. So I'm drifting. And the server that I'm playing now is because of the returning players. Nobody can interrupt us and PvP us. So I've got the auto path at the top there, so you can actually see. But I'm not actually looking at the auto path. I've gotten used to where I'm going. All this to me it seems familiar. The reason why I'm going to the Sangria Bazaar is because that's where I've got one of my other characters, and you can actually transfer different items on the inventory. So I'm going to play with these two guys. We might do an extra part because I think the time is running out. For example, one thing here, there's a shortcut. I will show you that. It's going to take us like this. There's a shortcut that you go through here, and you go straight away here. I'm going to utilize that. So when the map there, when you set the top, there's another road above, here for example, and you cut in from the left here. You cross that road. There's a lot of rocks, obviously, you gotta dodge through them. And you go here. You see the city down there? I just cut across this place here. If we took the other road, it would have taken us from the right hand side here. So let me show you. It would have been here. All this seems strange to remember off by heart, but like I said, I mean, every single one of these places is unique. You know, one of the things that I had done a long time ago in this town here, there used to be an excellent place here for farms. So I used to come outside of the city here, and I used to put like little farms here. And I used to do like it's like Farmville, but within the Black Desert. So let me go to the Sangria Bazaar. And you don't have to do the drift, you know what I mean, if you don't want to go crazy. You can just keep it like that, you know what I mean. There's a little bit of a delay, but you've got 3 dashes. Sometimes, in order for me not to go crazy on the keyboard shortcuts, back, left, shift, forward, and all that, I'll just keep it like that, which is basically just going forward. You're holding shift, so he's sprinting, and I've got my shortcut on middle mouse button. So forward, shift, middle mouse button is 3 buttons that I'm holding at the moment. You can get damage of your horse if you jump high, so... I didn't damage. I did damage. So if you pay attention, your mount has been damaged. If you pay attention, the bottom set bar, the red and the yellow is my resources. The top one is the horse, and as you're using skills, he's becoming, the yellow bar runs out. So at some point, if your skills run out, you know, you're going to not be able to do anything. Another thing, just to give you an understanding of the size of the game, this is going towards the desert. That's why if you see, you know, these areas that go off, to demonstrate the battle, and we might do a separate video for this. We're going to go to the centaurs, which is basically, you know, some enemies which are quite okay level-wise, easy to kill, so we're not facing a lot of challenge, and they have good loot. So the St. Grand Bazaar is right above here. So what I'm saying is that I'm not even looking at the map. I know where the place is, but you can automatically, you know, you can have your eyes there. This is what I've got. So I just put the point outside the city. This is the St. Grand Bazaar. And what I was saying about the desert, this is the beginning of the desert. So if you have a look, we're here. If I keep on going, watch the right hand side disappear, my compass, and watch how slow my horse is going to go. That's my speed. I've got nothing. I hit the map, I've got nothing. It doesn't show me where I am. I'm lost. This is the desert. You cannot see your character. You move around, but there's no indication. I can see where the city is, but other than that, you gotta really know what you're doing on the desert. Otherwise, you can easily die. And because in the desert, when there's a lot of heat, you get heat stroke, you start losing life, you gotta have a lot of potions. See how slow he's going. When I go close to the city, I'm just holding forward and shift now. He starts going faster, the map appears. So there's a lot of interesting mechanics and stuff. Let's go to this guy here, which has the horses. So we repair our horse, recover, and we'll put it in. We'll check it in. In order for me to play with my other character, what I have to do is unequip the gear, which is all this. I'm going to leave only his weapons. I can't use that on the other character. I'm going to go to the storage, which is this guy here. I'm going to throw them in. And then I'm going to escape and connect to the Musa. So that's the process that you're doing, you know what I mean? Usually when you want to turn, you know, swap skills and do everything as such. Just going to show that, and then we'll end the video because we're running out of time. And then the more gameplay, the battle, I will probably do another video. So it's not the last, it's the second last. I'm trying to manage my time. So now we're logged in with the Musa. I like this class because it's one of the most mobile classes. So he's here already. I'm going to go and get the stored items that are stored with the other guy. Going to wear them. You can see his defense goes up, 244, 232. His damage goes up as well because all these active, and this is normally what it looks like. So it's pretty much like defense. The other guy was 320 as well, and I think he was 265 something. Okay, because my awakening weapon is a black star, I've got a little bit more here. So I think this is good enough for this video for today, and I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to start from this point and on. I'm going to go to the centers and fight, explain this guy, show his skills, explain why I like one of these classes, and then I'll do the vice versa. I'll come back here, I'll get the berserker, I'll go, and I'll show in like 5-10 minutes killing a couple of guys.